Hello, my name is Germain, founder and CEO of EXFO. 1,600 people, company that is involved helping wireless operators globally to build better networks in a more productive fashion. We help providing the best-in-class customer experience thanks to our analytics, our tools, and our visibility from an end-to-end point of view to make the network being best in class. This week we're really focusing extensively on a number of areas, increasingly on how we can help operators to deliver more productivity in the way they build a network, especially on the RAN side. There's a lot of investments to build, whether this is more NFVs, more LTE capability, or more DAS, remote radio heads. How can we make that more productive? We basically automated the process, make it so much faster, but at the same time allowing to assure full compliance, do it right the first time. So that's been one of our very strong area of focus this year. And same way, we're talking a lot about analytics, end-to-end visibility. We've got a lot of capacity from a social assurance point of view, and we help the operators to see from an end-to-end point of view at the service layer, at the network layer, at the consumer layer, one phone at a time, if you will, how is everything performing. So very, very powerful. At the same vein, been extremely exciting this week.
So with the rollout of new services, networks, and service delivery, they're becoming more complex. How do you plan to address operators' efficiency challenges?
It's a very good question. Thanks, Roy, for that question. Frankly, operators have come to us. We've been basically in the space of delivering test equipments for the telecom operators. We're a top 2 vendor in the industry. We're the #1 by and large in the fiber optic domain. We've automated a lot of areas, like how can we inspect the connectors, how can we test the fiber, all this with basically just a single push of a button. Now what we've done, we've gone beyond this, working with Tier 1 operators in multiple countries, especially in fact with a Tier 1 operator in America, a Tier 1 operator in Europe, to really build the full process from the cloud's point of view. What that means, the portable equipment that have been utilized in the field, you can actually download your own process directly into the unit so that the unit will actually do the step, one step at a time, and make sure that every step of the way, things that are done within the KPIs or the matrix that are set for your particular requirements. So that every steps are automated, and at the end of the day, all your test results are pushed back into the cloud, so you can get full visibility. We have full analytics that allow you to see for each contractors, is the job being done properly, what's the success rate. We can actually segment the information based on for productivity, right the first time, for a number of measurements basically. And with that, we're getting the productivity enhancement that is quite significant, and really mean it quite significant. And the paybacks are fantastic for our customers there.
Let's talk NFV. It's a big topic of conversation here at Mobile World Congress. How is EXFO contributing and helping operators make the technological turn?
It's an exciting area for EXFO. Basically, what we do as a provider, not only have we been involved in the NFV area from the very beginning. In fact, we've been involved there for more than 2 years. We're partnering. We've been a partner with most of the key system vendors in that space. And working with the provider, whether this is HP and so on. So what EXFO has done is a number of things. First of all, we are the #1 provider of what we call active source assurance. And on that front, what we've built is virtual probes that can actually be moving around the network to provide real-time dynamic information about what's going on into the network on a real-time, full-time basis. With the advent of NFV, we have to realize that as network configuration is going to be evolving, rapidly, it's going to be very important to have very strong active tests, and that's the area where EXFO is #1 in that space. We've also been involved into providing virtual probes, so that they are walking probes that you can utilize on cell phones. We build basically virtualized test capabilities that also we can actually move around from instruments to instruments, and so on and so forth. So this is a space in which EXFO is the thought leader in how we can implement and assure quality of experience in an NFV world.
So there's been some delays in VoLTE rollout. How can you help operators roll out services such as VoLTE and Web RTC on schedule and with high quality?
Very, very good question. This is a space that's been extremely challenging. multiple operators around the globe have had more issues than they thought. So where EXFO comes into the picture from a VoLTE point of view and WebRTC is really from an end-to-end point of view. We can assure, we can streamline, and we can reduce the risk for VoLTE deployment. First of all, we get very deeply involved from the labs point of view, where we can generate and simulate massive amount of VoLTE traffic. So in other words, if you're going to run a network before you start deploying the service, the first thing you want to do is assure within your labs that your ecosystem is going to support VoLTE properly. So we can generate basically up to 10, 12, 15 million subscribers equivalent, if you will, load basically in the labs to test properly that all is working fine. Second thing we do also is assuring VoLTE from an end-to-end point of view once you're into network deployment or service deployment. That means we can deploy basically VoLTE as a test device, that is a virtual test device on smartphones. Basically the technicians of the operators can actually have the service that is monitored on a real-time, full-time basis everywhere that matters, which means in the venues where there's a lot of people, traffic and so on. We can also assure this in every step of the network to measure every parameters in every segments of the network on a dynamic basis with our source assurance systems. We can actually basically assure with this, provide a full-fledged visibility thanks to our analytics at that level, both at the device level but as well as the network and service level. So VoLTE for us has been a full course deployment from end to end, and we really have a very amazing, unique solution on that front.